started with a video tonight, I want to tell you a little story real quick. You have to overlook my air-conditioned shirt. It was about 375 degrees here in Alabama today, and it's not much cooler than that tonight. Anyway, what I want to talk to you about is I get emails, phone calls, people catch me in the street telling me all the time, I'm just obsessed with Bigfoot. I'm just obsessed with Bigfoot. You can't be obsessed with Bigfoot. It's a good thing to be interested in it and investigate it and that type of stuff. And when I ask them, well, what type of investigations do you do or whatever, they say, all my investigations is on the computer and mostly on Facebook. And you need to get out into the woods when you possibly can. I know some people are not able to. That's the only way they have coming in contact. But a lot of people just sit there on the computer all day taking other people's word for it, never really getting out and experiencing what it's like to get close to Bigfoot like I have done and some of the other members have done. You need to try that sometime. So what you don't need to do is to get completely obsessed and think about nothing else in life except Bigfoot. He's out there whether you get obsessed with it or not. He's going to be there. But what I want you to do tonight is sit back and do something that you hadn't done in a long time. Is spend tonight watching this video with your spouse rather than going off and partying with somebody else's spouse for a change. Even keep the kids in there tonight. Put a piece of candy in their mouth to keep them quiet for a little while where you can watch this. You sit down and have your wife go pop some popcorn to where you can watch this video. You can reach over there in the cooler where you have kept this all day long and pop one of these every once in a while to keep watching the movie. That does go down good tonight, as hot as it is. But anyway, not that this is hot, the weather's hot. This video tonight is a great adventure video. It goes along the lines of Indiana Jones. We'll take you through the Gulf of Mexico, down through Florida, across through the Florida Straits. You're going to see some beautiful women down there. I know you are going to like that. We're going on to South America, and where you'll be in the rainforest. We're going to meet a group of Bigfoot down there that we learned about after we got down there. They're called the Macho Pina Grande Bigfoot. And since it's so hot and my throat's a little dry tonight, anyway, what Macho Pina Grande means in the Amazon rainforest is a tall, hairy man with an extremely large foot. Bet you thought I was going somewhere else on that, but I didn't. We're going to go down past the Florida Keys, as I said, through the Florida Straits. Then we'll get on into the actual Amazon rainforest, where we go. Like I said, we will meet the Macho Pina Grande. We're going to see a lot of other things in the Amazon forest too. We're even going to come face to face with the devil himself. And after we met him and talked to him a little while, we found out he's not such a bad guy after all. And now, in the words of Bugs Bunny, overture, cut the light. This is it. Tonight's the night. No more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every part by heart. Overture, cut the lights. This is it. We'll hit the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show. This is it. Hello and welcome to tonight's Alabama adventure, getting close to Bigfoot. Once again tonight we want to try to do a little something different. We're going to have a little fun with everybody tonight. That's what we're planning. If you could be here sometimes when we're taping these out in the field, and more especially here in the studio, a lot of times things happen with props or me or hats or things fall off the wall and we get tickled at it, and we just have a big time sometimes laughing about it. Tonight we're going to talk about all the topics of paranormal interest, UFOs, weather being controlled, the Loch Ness Monster, and some other things that I can't think of, even men in black and people in white. We're going to joke about that a little bit tonight. The reason we get tickled and laugh at ourselves is sometimes we listen to stories that kind of touch your heart, stuff like that, and we don't mean to laugh at anybody, and we don't laugh at anybody when they're telling the story. We take everything that people say serious, because the biggest part of the people are. They're telling the truth, and they're telling what they've seen to somebody that believes them, for a change most of the time. But we have to laugh at ourselves sometimes. I laugh at myself a lot when we're doing these videos and things go wrong. But tonight, what we're going to do is a little spoof on all the paranormal topics. Don't believe everything you see in here, but at the end of the video, there is a message in it, and I'm going to tell you what it was at the end of the video. Anyway, we're going to be joined tonight by a cousin of mine, Professor Richard Bryce. Now, let me explain a little bit about Bryce. And I know you saw at the beginning of the video, Bryce University. A long time ago here in the state of Alabama, there was a mental institution. It was known as Bryce Mental Institution, I believe it was the name of it. It was located in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And it was just a saying here in Alabama back in those days, when people would go to acting crazy or doing something kind of off the wall or whatever. Well, you're going to wind up in Bryce if you keep doing that. And some people did. But anyway, that's where we got the name Bryce University. It's kind of based on a mental institution. Not that we're making fun of anybody that was in the mental institution or anything like that. Just like then, I get tongue-tied a lot, and we have to do a lot of editing on that. So that's what we're laughing at. We're laughing at ourselves. We're not laughing at anybody. But I hope you enjoy tonight's Alabama adventure, Bryce University. Damn, I forgot the name of it. Anyway. So tonight, Alabama Adventure, getting close to Bigfoot, will be Bryce University and breaking the Bigfoot code. If you remember a few videos back, I showed some actual gifts, rocks that Bigfoot had traded with me over the years, and that's what this video is going to pretty much consist of tonight. Will be Professor Richard Bryce claims that he has broken the Morse code or the Bigfoot code of the rock taps and the wood taps in the woods, and we hope that you enjoy watching this tonight. So, first of all, I would like to introduce you to Professor Richard Bryce of Bryce University. Hello, I am Professor Richard Bryce of Bryce University. Behind me is Bryce University, and I want to take you on a tour of that campus, which is a highly black operation. You won't find it on any maps. It officially, at the government, does not exist. But what we do here is all type of paranormal work. I am associated with the Bigfoot Research Department, Field Investigation Division. Let's go on a quick tour of the facility, and hopefully we will not be arrested. There are men in black, people in white, and every other thing you can think of as far as the government here watching every move that is made. Millions of your tax dollars are wasted here daily. Once again, people in white. Okay, now our first stop on the tour of Bryce University campus is this large building here. This building is used to house aliens from all across the universe. In every room there is a different alien. There are literally hundreds of rooms above ground and numerous floors underground for aliens that cannot be exposed to sunlight. And our next stop is this location here, still at the rear of the university campus. This is a large landing pad, or airport if you will, for UFOs. Numerous UFOs are landed here at night. As you can see, it is well lit. The lights are on right now, as you can see. And doesn't this pretty much remind you of the movie that was based here, Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Lots of filming was done here. The actual landing of the craft that you saw in Close Encounters of the Third Kind occurred right out there. This landing pad is disguised as a baseball field. And as you can see right now, children of the neighborhood are even allowed during the day to actually play baseball out there. At night it would be much too dangerous, as radiation from some UFOs would immediately kill them. But Bryce University is ahead of its time in the study of all paranormal topics. We have now moved around to the east wing of Bryce University. This enormous building here houses crashed and captured UFOs. If you will notice the top is constructed so that the whole roof slides back and UFOs can be flown inside as well as out. Even though I was founder of Bryce University, I myself am not exactly sure as to how many crashed and captured UFOs lie within those walls. There's an enormous basement underground where most of that work is performed. Who knows what lies behind those doors? Even myself, I do not have complete run of the facility. There are highly classified areas within this building. Now here's a little different angle on that building you were just looking at, the housed UFOs. And even now, as we make a tour of the facility, we are watched constantly by men in black. Here is the main administration office of Bryce University. Directly behind it is a facility that's being constructed where human-animal breeding experiments will take place. And directly behind it, as you can see, there are two towers. In the first tower on the right, that is a guard tower. Behind it is that building I was showing you a few moments ago where alien life forms are kept and housed for experimentation. In that tower is a machine gun nest to keep intruders out and to keep the occupants inside. As you can see, Bryce University is a highly technical, sophisticated institution. Once again, the men in black are watching us very closely as we are attempting to do some filming here, even though I am the president of Bryce University. Okay, now once again, we're still on tour of the facility, of the campus. I would like to show you a little bit more about it. A lot of construction is going on here, as you can see out there. As you can see, the gun tower behind that tree has already been erected. That was possibly the main thing that needed to be built over here. As you will see, this is a construction site with this sign, hazardous job site, conditions do exist. That is because in this building, let me go right over here, you can see the gate is open today as they are doing some construction, and the men in black have to have access to the complete facility. Oh, by the way, this is my office here. This little cabin is what I use to do my Bigfoot research out here on this lake. Now, of course, this lake is bottomless. There has never been a bottom found to this lake. It is unknown when it was actually built and how deep that it may be, but no bottom has ever been found. As you will notice, in front of that large building right there is a white dome-type roof coming out. That's where a nuclear reactor is supposed to sit within the walls of that, and possibly most of it under this lake. Let me give you a little better angle on what is being performed here at Bryce University, all the construction that is going on here. Here in the distance you see a man in black and a people in white vehicle. They are carefully watching us. But let's do on a little quick tour. Here, of course, is the bottomless lake and my office. Let's see if we can walk around the security fence, and I will show you something. That building there is the one that is being built to house animal-human breeding, and if you will notice directly behind it, I'll have to get a better angle. There, you can see it now. Directly behind it is a machine gun tower. The machine gun tower is in place in case anything should escape. It will immediately be shot before it can reach town. This building here is where the weather is controlled in the southeast. It's where total weather control. It is run by a monkey that we are experimenting on, giving him meth and then letting him run the weather. He has complete run of the facility, and you can tell what kind of weather we have with a monkey running it. But that's Bryce University. Once again, the bottomless lake, and if you will notice those ripples, that is probably the Loch Ness Monster coming to shore to feed. The Loch Ness Monster is kept here in the winter because where he's from it's so cold, sometimes the water freezes. And it's about time for him to return to Loch Ness. But that dark ripple right out there is the Loch Ness Monster. That's probably his body right in there. One of his humps are right along in there, and I'm sure that that's his head about right along there, just beneath the water. He's probably watching us, and should we get too close to the shore, he would no doubtedly eat us. Now also today at Bryce University, the people in white are having a large meeting here, as you can tell. There are a few men in black, mostly today with people in white. There's a better shot of the machine gun tower. But once again, I would like you to take a view of this part of Bryce University and see the millions of tax dollars that are being wasted here daily. Seems as though Nessie is getting a little closer. Now directly across the road is this sign. And now where have we seen this owl emblem before? It has been cleverly disguised as the Piedmont Plateau Birding Trail, I'm sure. Now I am very excited to tell you I believe we have made a major breakthrough in the search of Bigfoot. And if you would like to come up here on the porch, and I will explain more to you about that at this time. If you are interested in the world of Bigfoot, you know that he communicates through wood taps and rock taps. And we believe through years of study and research, unlike Kelly, who will probably take credit for this entire episode, it was all her idea and all her work and research. Of course, if you could find something like that out on Facebook, then she would be a genius. Anyway, what we have discovered, or what we believe we have discovered, is that we have broken the code. The rock tapping signals, the wood tapping signals. And let's go out on location and I will demonstrate that.
Oh, pardon me. Here we are today in the wilds of Tallapoosa County, and we are about to do an experiment with the rocks and communicating actually with Bigfoot. We believe we have broken the Morse code or the Bigfoot code. What I will tell you what I am saying as I tap out those messages in case you want to copy this down and communicate with them yourself. What we need for them to do is to come forward, allow us to make a photograph, then take hair, blood, and urine samples. Will you come forward and allow us to photograph you, take hair, blood, and urine samples? Let's see what type of response we get. My God, we got a response of some type. Not exactly what we were looking for. Let me try it again. Will you come forward, allow us to make photograph, take hair, blood, and urine samples? I'm waiting for another response. I can't understand what the problem is. Surely he can understand English. Can't understand it. He's undoubtedly been swimming in the Gulf. That's very salty.
Okay, now, as you probably noticed, there's a strong family resemblance between me and Professor Bryce. What I would like for you to do now, Professor, is to give us all a little background on the events leading up to you breaking the Bigfoot code. Yes, and well, thank you very much for letting me be a part of your show tonight. This all began several months ago when an alien that I know very well, that I mentioned earlier, that lives on Bryce University. His name is Henri, and he gets out sometimes in his UFO and flies around and makes aerial photos. It's kind of his hobby. Anyway, one day he brought this photo into my office and requested that I look at it and examine it closely. Upon examining it, we both decided that there was a herd of dinosaurs living along the river basin along the Amazon River in South America. We decided over a period of time that it would be good if we could capture these dinosaurs, bring them back to the United States, put them on farms, and raise them for food. Can you imagine how much food would be in one dinosaur? A lot of hamburger meat, a lot of ribs, a lot of steaks. So we decided that that would be our little way of helping the world food shortage. But first we had to find them and capture them. So that's how the expedition began to be planned. Let me take you to the map and I'll show you a little more of what we did to begin with. Now, as you probably know, Bryce University is located in east central Alabama. We do have a river here, but we don't have a boat ramp. So anyway, what we decided to do was to take our canoes and kayaks, put them in the Tallapoosa River, and float down to Alexander City, Alabama, which is located in Tallapoosa County. And down there is a large backwater lake named Lake Martin. It is also known for considerable paranormal activity, such as UFOs, lake monsters, and all that type stuff. So what we did, we floated down the Tallapoosa River to Lake Martin, and that's where we actually started our expedition on the way to South America. We floated from there down through Montgomery, down the river, and along another river until we came to Mobile Bay. There at Mobile Bay, we hit the Gulf of Mexico. We found the Gulf of Mexico came ashore in Mobile, Alabama, and that was perfect. We knew we had to get into the Gulf of Mexico and go south and maybe eastward to get around the top part of South America. We were also worried about running into Florida. So we decided at this time we needed someone with a little experience, or we should get a map. So this is what we did. Okay, now one of the first things that we purchased on the trip was a road atlas. But we knew that not only were there not going to be any roads going to South America, but we knew there would be water. So we needed a map of Florida. So what we did, got someone who could read a map for us. They told us we were in Mobile, which would be about over here. We needed to go south along the coastline of Florida. As soon as we hit the Florida Keys, turn left, and once we passed Cuba, make a right turn, and that should take us directly to South America, getting close to the Amazon rainforest. So by use of canoe and kayak, we were on our way. Once we arrived in South America, we were to contact two men at a travel agency, Raul and Pedro, of Raul and Pedro's Amazon Tours. Once we arrived there, we contacted them, and I have a short video on that. As soon as we reached South America, we were instructed to contact a man named Roosevelt at this airport disguised as cemetery to carry us deeper into the Amazon forest, as near to the Amazon River as possible. It was under cover of darkness we made our contact with Roosevelt. Early the next morning, as the weather deteriorated, we were ready to depart. We then hit high winds and turbulence associated with the tropical storm. This is a view from outside the windshield of the helicopter. Roosevelt, excuse me, I would suggest we turn back. I would suggest you go to hell. We're going through. Very well. I guess that settles that point. Alabama Bigfoot Society mascot Chico accompanied us on this leg of the expedition and quickly became terrified as turbulence began rocking
on a blind spot. It's just laying down. It's just copping down on the ground. Not in the river. Not in the river. Don't take it in the river. Put it in the ground there in the clean spot.
It was after several hours of searching that our helicopter pilot located this clearing in the jungle and set our helicopter down with supplies. We were met here by two gentlemen named Ramul and Pedro, who own Ramul and Pedro's Amazon Tours, and they took us by donkey and llama cart deeper into the jungle toward the Amazon River. Very little did we know it at the time we were leaving civilization behind us. This would be the last time for months that we would actually see a civilized human being. The road began as a small paved road through the jungle, as you can see. The lush, mysterious Amazon rainforest on either side of us, where danger and death lurks behind every tree, every blade of grass, every leaf. You could die immediately, never be found again. But we searched on, in search of the herd of dinosaurs we had heard of. It was only after a short distance that what was a paved road at one time immediately diminished into a dirt and gravel road trail. For 3 agonizing days, we drudged along this road riding donkeys and, of course, llamas pulling 2-wheel supply carts. It was then late afternoon of the 3rd day that we came down this hill, and over here we came upon this monstrosity. I looked at the guide, Pedro, and said, "Pedro, what the hell is this monstrosity?" This was his answer. "This is a bridge, senor." Well, you could have certainly fooled me. When was this bridge built? We think it was built around 1948, senor. It was at that time that the United States had exiled many of the Nazi soldiers to South America for safety. And this was built by 2 of them in an attempt to escape back to their homeland. Well, I sure as to hell can't blame them for wanting to get out of here. What is this creek? This is not a creek, senor. This is the Amazon River. The hell you say, man? No, I didn't say hell. I said this is the Amazon River. Straight that way, it will be the headwaters or the mouth, and that is north. North will be the mouth of the Amazon River. You will find it up there somewhere, I'm sure. This is the southern side of the Amazon River, and about 2 miles downriver is Hot Cuervo Distillery, where they make tequila out of this water. But let me remind you, senor, do not drink the water down here. Isn't that right, Remo? Isn't that right, Remo? That is right. You drink the water, you will not come back. Anyway, this is the Amazon River as we know it, and this is where we're going to leave you for the final leg of your expedition. And so, as time neared for us to depart, I asked Ray, who would be our guide from this point on, and Ramu to check the provisions and the ice chest. See, senor, we have plenty of beer, pickled eggs, and prune juice. Excellent, excellent. It seemed as though everything was in order as we prepared to depart on the Amazon River. What type of beer do we have, Ray? Well, this is a beer from the Amazon rainforest. It is called El Piso Diablo. And you know, now that I look at it, the picture of the devil on the label looks a hell of a lot like you. Well, I have always heard he was a handsome devil. Be that as it may, I'm not sure how that could be. Anyway, before we get started, I suggest that we drink a toast to the upcoming expedition.
See, so do I, senor. Let's pop a cold one, then we can get a little more work done.
What about you, Ramul? Would you care for a cold beer?
I would very much like one, but I would prefer mine in a glass.
A glass? Why would you want to pour a beer in a glass? That seemed like it would just slow you up drinking.
Yes, but when I was a young child, my mother was very big on table manners and always said that the use of tableware and silverware separated us from the apes.
I can certainly understand that, Ramu. So let's get Ramu one poured in the glass.
You know, sometimes it is hard to find, but down here in the Amazon rainforest, you can get El Piso Diablo on tap, in the can, or in the bottle. It is just whichever you prefer.
But while we're enjoying a cold beer, what about those pickled eggs?
You see, senor, let me tell you about the pickled eggs. Now, these are pickled alligator eggs, and my wife, Tia Juanita, owns the actual company that prepares these pickled alligator eggs. They are not just normal alligator eggs, they are gourmet pickled alligator eggs.
Well, what else can you tell us about those?
Well, Tia actually dives into the Amazon River and finds the alligator nest, and that is where she gets the eggs to make these. And if you will notice, on the bottom of the jar, there is some sand and dirt and gravel and rocks and all type of stuff. Yes, I noticed that. That is actual sediments from the floor of the Amazon River that she dives down, topless most of the time, and brings back a handful at a time to put in a jar, one at a time.
She certainly sounds like an interesting person.
Would you like to see a picture of her? Here she is, getting ready to dive into the Amazon River. This was a picture I made only a few days ago.
My God. Is she not afraid to dive into the Amazon River wearing only a bikini bottom where there are man-eating and woman-eating piranha swimming those waters?
Well, she doesn't have any problem with them. She says they actually run from her. She says she feels as if she frightens them. And I have witnessed on occasion piranha dive out of the water onto the bank and commit suicide when she was in the water swimming, hunting alligator nests.
No doubt. I can understand that very well.
Just look at this close-up of her. How would you like to wake up with that every morning?
I don't know if I can stomach that, Ray. Not every morning.
I met her several years ago in a bar. I know you have heard the song, "The Girls All Get Prettier at Closing Time."
Yes, but my God, that's ridiculous, Ray.
But anyway, that is how I met her and how we got married. We met one Saturday night, and I woke up the next morning, and I was married. And have been married happily for several years now.
Well, congratulations, Ray. Congratulations. Glad to hear it. Anyway, I believe I'll have a cold one before we start. And I enjoy chasing a good cold beer with a good, tall, cold glass of 100% prune juice. Now, there's nothing like a cold beer and a cold, tall glass of prune juice. To the expedition. To the expedition.
To the expedition.
To the expedition.
You know, Ray, this isn't a really bad tasting beer.
There are many stories and legends that surround this beer.
Oh, well, you could tell me one. I might use it at my next lecture at the Smithsonian.
One of the legends say that this beer is brewed deep in the rainforest in a cave, so deep that the actual cauldron where the mixture is combined sits over the actual flames of hell. And at midnight, that the devil himself comes in and dances around the rim of the cauldron and stirs the brew. And accompanying him are 13 of his most beautiful and most powerful witches.
Well, that certainly is an interesting story, Ray.
Whether it is true or not, I do not know. How about you, Ramu?
I don't care if it's true or not, just as long as it stays on my grocer's shelf. Let's have one more. One more for the road. Well, for the river. Yeah, one more for the river.
Sounds good to me, Ramu.
Let's have one more before we go.
Okay, what shall we drink to?
Let's drink to Tia Wananida Pickled Egg Factory.
Okay, I'll drink to that. One more for Tia and the Pickled Egg Factory.
Before we go, let's drink one more.
Okay, what shall we drink to this time?
To exploration of the Amazon River.
To exploration of the Amazon River.
To exploration of the Amazon River.
How about one more before we go?
Well, what shall we drink to this time? We need to get going, Ray, before the sun actually goes down behind the trees.
How about to Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones!
Okay, let's drink to Indiana Jones.
Let's have one more beer before we go.
One more beer. As we look toward the sun, it was beginning to touch the top of the trees in the Amazon forest. But one more beer. Who shall we drink to this time, Ramu?
Let's drink to my mother, who taught me table manners.
To Ramu's mother, who took time to actually teach him table manners.
I will drink to that too.
Thank you, Ray. So about 9 or 10 beers later, a couple of jugs of prune juice, and a couple of gallons of pickled alligator eggs, we were ready to depart.
I want to have one more beer before we go.
Okay, Ramu, who shall we drink to this time?
I want to drink to my poor old departed mother, who took the time to teach me table etiquette.
Very well. One more beer to Ramu's dearly departed mother, who took the time out of her life to actually teach him table manners and table etiquette, and how to use silverware and tableware.
To Ramu's mother, wherever she may be, looking up or down or all around the jungle town.
Ray, I feel as though you're becoming a little intoxicated.
A little hell, I'm falling down drunk.
Then we decided it was time we should get the canoes in the water and get on our way up the Amazon River.
Come on, Ramu, and sing with me as we go. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows but you.
Is it hot to you, Ramu?
It's hotter than hell. It's about 127 degrees out here right now.
So it was here that we were left with canoes and kayaks to find our way north up the Amazon River, to find the basin where the dinosaurs were supposedly living, attended and herded by aliens. Very little at this time did we know the adventures, the danger that lay ahead, and what we would endure over the next week. We then bid farewell to our guides and wondered, what the hell were we thinking? We had canoed only a short distance up the Amazon River until it began to widen out somewhat. Here is a shot of the Amazon River shortly after we started our expedition. And so we continued our journey up the Amazon River. Now then, it was only a short distance up the river. As you can see, the river had considerably widened. Then we came upon what looked as the ruins of an old bridge. We had no idea what this was in the Amazon rainforest, so I asked the guide, Ray, what did he know about these rock formations?
Well, this is what is left of a bridge that once crossed the Amazon River.
What else can you tell me about this bridge, Ray?
Well, it was built by the Macho Pina Grande tribe, which is a tribe of Bigfoot, as you know them, many years ago, and over time the bridge simply rotted down.
Why did the South American Bigfoot build a bridge to go across the Amazon River, Ray?
I think it was so they could get to the other side.
I peered into the now slow-moving waters of the Amazon River. Just beneath the surface lies alligators and crocodiles the size of ocean liners, pythons and anacondas as large as redwood trees. piranha by the billion, waiting to chew your flesh off your bones while you're still alive. Ah, this must be a tropical paradise, I thought. Then, as we began nearing this narrow part of the river, we were attacked from both sides by several dugout canoe loads of female Amazon warriors. Their dugout canoes moved extremely swiftly through the water, and in a few moments we were overtaken and were their prisoners. Our abductors then brought us to this clearing about 3 miles upriver. They would not allow us to film them or the village, as they thought that would bring bad luck to the village. However, that night we learned why we were here. We thought we were here to possibly be sacrificed to the giant anacondas, pythons, alligators, and crocodiles that lurk just beneath these waters. However, it was told to us later that night they were actually having a celebration to the anaconda god, and that a pig would be sacrificed, and we were invited to watch. I asked our guide, Ray, to communicate with these people and find out, usually in movies, a virgin is sacrificed at something like a river ceremony where there is a god present. But this was Ray's reply.
There hasn't been a virgin around here since 1962, so we'll just use a pig.
Being cautious not to get their village on video, we talked that night, and they told us of the tribe of Macho Pina Grande people that lived further north along the Amazon River. From their description and what they told us about them, apparently they were the Bigfoot of South America. And Ray and some of the Amazon warriors agreed to guide us to a sacred mountain where these people live. It was then early the next morning, as the sun rose above the dew-drenched rainforest, above the top of the trees, that our guide Ray called to us to get ready to start our expedition on further north down the Amazon River. As we prepared to depart that morning on our journey deeper into the Amazon, Ray woke us up, singing a song, trying to cheer us up, getting us in a good mood for the upcoming journey. Let me mention first, Ray is an avid fan of old TV reruns of Rawhide. So that's the way Ray woke us up on this particular morning.
Hey, rollin', 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 keep them doggies rollin', keep them doggies rollin', rawhide. Don't mind if it's weather, we'll be together, rollin', 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 rawhide. Rawhide anticipating, my true love will be waiting at the end of my ride. Get 'em on, move 'em around, get 'em on up, little doggy running around, rawhide, rawhide.
Thank you very much, Ray. If that didn't wake the dead, nothing will. It was shortly after Ray had finished his song and we had prepared to depart from the Amazon village, I was presented with this gift they believed was a religious token. It had washed ashore in their village several years ago, and they thought it was a gift from the gods. They wanted me to wear this for good luck and protection throughout the rainforest on our search. Oh, sometimes the things we are asked to do in the name of science are for the betterment of the world. For days, we drudged through the rainforest, walking trails such as these. Our only hope for survival was Ray and a few signs similar to this. As we journeyed further into the Amazon rainforest, we came upon this section of the forest that had been cut. Ray, what can you tell us about this section of the Amazon rainforest that has been cut?
Well, this is a section of the Amazon rainforest that has been cut. Over there where the trees still remain is a section that has not been cut. But this is a section that has been cut.
Ray, can you tell us about how much further it is until we reach the actual Amazon River basin that we are looking for?
It is about 4 miles north.
Ray, I believe that's what you said this time yesterday.
Well, this time I mean it. I am not telling a lie.
And as we peered northward into the skies where Ray had said we only had 4 more miles to go, we could see a large thunderstorm was building. And then late in the afternoon, as the heavy, foggy mist set in on the mountain range, we came over a hill and Ray screamed,
Hey! Hey! We have made it! There is the Analio Thunderous mountain range. Do you see that mountain over there?
That mountain over there?
No, hell no, not that mountain over there. This mountain over here.
Oh, yes, I see it very well.
That is where we are headed. That is the Analio Thunderous Sacred Mountain.
And so our journey was closing in. We now stood in the clouds of the Amazon rainforest along the Analio Thunderous mountain range. And here was the mountain we had searched for, the Analio Thunderous Sacred Mountain. And of course it was raining as we reached the village. And this was the village of the Macho Pina Grande tribe of South American Bigfoot. Now, shortly after the rains ended on Analio Thunderous Mountain here, we were led to this location. This is the entrance to the village of the Macho Pina Grande people. It was here that we were introduced to another man, Wichita Brooks, who became our guide. After we left the village, Wichita brought us to a rock face that had certain hieroglyphic writing, so it appeared on it. What can you tell us about this, Wichita?
These right here is hieroglyphics that tell the history of our Macho Pina Grande tribe. One time, several years ago, the Egyptians come over here and wanted us to teach them how to write with these hieroglyphics.
Excuse me, Wichita, don't you mean hieroglyphics?
Yeah, there's what it said, hieroglyphics. And anyway, we learned them how to write with these hieroglyphics and how to build pyramids and all that kind of stuff while they was over here. We had to go back over there with them.
You actually went to Egypt with them. How did you manage that?
Well, some of us rode a boat, some of us rode UFOs over there. But anyway, we got the job done. We got some pretty nice looking pyramids built over there in Egypt. We never did build none down here. This right here, this part right here, tells of how the rock tapping got started with the Bigfoot clans. And I'll carry you down the mountain and tell you all about it, but it's all written right here in stone.
Here now, Wichita is carrying us along this trail down to where he's about to tell us the legend of how the rock tapping began. There's some very nice scenery down this road.
How do y'all like riding one of these llama cars? Good thing ain't nobody got hemorrhoid.
This is actual footage of the Analio Thunderous Sacred Mountain that has never been seen.
Wait just a minute. There's one other thing right here that I want to show you before we get down to the other place. All right, now this here is Analio Thunderous. He was a real talented fella down here in South America.
Could you tell us what type of talent that he had?
Analio could fart anytime he wanted to. He didn't have to eat beans or go to the Mexican restaurant. Just whenever he got ready to fart, he could fart. He would fart like at weddings and special occasions and things like that.
Soon we arrived at the location where Wichita was about to tell us the legend of the rock tapping.
All right, now here we are. Now you see all them rocks laying down through there?
Yes, I do.
Well, look close. I'll give you time to fan around. I don't know if you can see them for all them leaves where it comes off the top of the mountain.
Top of that mountain?
No, hell no, the top of this mountain.
There we are. I believe we can get a few of them.
Now, if you'll notice, most of these rocks is small rocks, and I'll give you time to zoom in on them. But what it was, they was a Bigfoot that lived here one time. He was the chief Bigfoot, and he lived on this mountain behind us.
This mountain here?
Yes, this mountain right here behind us. is where he lived. He lived up there on the top of it. And he would come out of his cave every day, and he'd look around over the rainforest and over the mountain, and he just enjoyed it, and he just loved it, and he just looked at it. And one day he seen that they was cutting all the trees down there. Tears come to his eyes, and he went to crying because the forest that he loved was being cut and ruined. And as the tears rolled down this mountain, they turned into stone. A lot of them got to falling, and they was making loud tapping sound. And you could hear it echo all over the forest. And then some other Bigfoot come up with the idea that that's how we could communicate with each other, that these rocks here that actually make louder sounds than just a regular rock you pick up off the ground. And that's how we got started doing the rock tapping, communicating with each other. And I'll go right up here and let you video some of them. And if you want to, I'll carry you up there to the top of the mountain where the Chief Bigfoot used to live and where he died. He's got a grave up there that we still go to, and I can carry you up there.
It was at this time, with the discovery of this monumental piece of information, the rock tapping and how to actually communicate with Bigfoot, that we decided it was time to abandon the dinosaur expedition and that we should return to Bryce University as soon as possible with this earth-shattering news we had discovered along the Amazon River in South America. Well, okay, well that was tonight's Alabama adventure, getting close to Bigfoot. I hope you enjoyed it. We did it on the lighter side as a little spoof about getting close to Bigfoot. The reason that I did this is to try to get the message across to everybody that as far as the rock tapping, the howls, the hoops, that the wood knocking, that type of stuff, if you don't know what you're saying to these creatures, you don't need to be talking to them. It's just like going to a foreign country and talking to somebody, say in Germany or somewhere like that, and you hear somebody say a particular phrase and you say it back to somebody, it could have a whole different meaning than what you think it would. And that's the way that it may be with Bigfoot. I know of one particular person that has, in their backyard, made the howls, the hoops. They have done wood knocking, rock tapping, stuff like that, trying to call Bigfoot in, and they have undoubtedly succeeded at it. They have found large Bigfoot footprints in their yard, up in their driveway, in soft places in the ground where the footprints would make an impression. They've had very large limbs broken out of some large trees that's around the house. They have even had something to slap on the side of the house, and apparently has been peered into their bathroom window when it would slap on the side of the house. Some of the howls or some of the hoops could be a mating call. What if that's what they have done? What if they have invited Bigfoot in for a little more than a couple of drinks? That's the message that the video was. You need to be careful of communicating with these creatures or trying to communicate with them. That's why I just talk to them and tell them what I want them to know, and I leave the little gifts like water or sardines or whatever, and I have been rewarded back with feathers and rocks and that type of stuff, as you saw in the other video. But keep that in mind. Just be careful what you say. As I have said in the past, I'd like to say hey to my granddaughter Madison. I would also like to tell you that the Alabama Bigfoot Society is run completely out of pocket, and if you are in a position where you can make a donation, it would be very much appreciated. And if you do make a donation, then we'll send you a 1-year free complimentary membership to the Alabama Bigfoot Society. And keeping that in mind, I hope you keep watching this. I hope if you like this video that you'll subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I'll be looking for you next time on the next Alabama adventure, getting close to Bigfoot.
And while on location, cast and crew enjoyed complimentary accommodation of the Four Seasons Lounge Casino Hotel Resort, where deuces are always wild, and so are the nightly parties. And the Four Seasons Lounge Casino Hotel Resort is located right next to the bridge that crosses the Amazon River. Also, while on location, transportation was provided by Speedy Rodriguez, luxury car sales and rental, and south of the border, bail bonds. Don't spend another night in jail in South America. Come see me, Speedy Rodriguez, at south of the border bail bonds. Choose today from two fabulous cars on our lot. People will stop and take notice when you cruise through town in this '68 Galaxy. Have you driven a Ford lately? Ford has a better idea with you in mind.